My aunt took over the family ice cream truck when my grandma and grandpa retired. Surprisingly, after a lot of hard work at the beginning, it became a pretty lucrative family business. Grandma and grandpa were able to retire at a normal age, and it more than paid my aunt's bills. But one summer, my aunt fractured her hip, and I had to take over for the last 3 weeks of the season. Growing up, I had gone along with my grandparents and even my aunt in the later years during some weekends, so I did know somewhat how the truck operated, but I was still nervous anyway. My grandma always claimed the truck was haunted, from the time they brought it home from the used car lot in town. It was hard to tell if Grandma was just being her quirky self or if she was telling us true stories. Until my aunt took over. She began experiencing the same things. The first day I was taking the truck out, I got to it early to make sure it was stocked and everything was working in order. Kind of like the first day jitters. As I unlocked the door and opened the back of the truck, a smell permeated my nostrils. It was a super strong old lady perfume. My aunt isn't a perfume person, so I have no idea where the smell was coming from, but it was strong. Coughing, I opened both of the double doors to air it out. Hopping in, I checked the freezers. Everything seemed stocked well, and the money box had change in it. All set, I guess, no time like the present, I thought to myself. I was just about down my aunt's long driveway when the music started playing on its own. At the same time, the windshield wipers turned on. Forgetting where the button was to shut the music off in the sudden chaos, I fumbled around to put the truck in park. What a swimmingly great start, I thought to myself sarcastically. I finally got everything shut off and proceeded down the road to the furthest neighborhood. The best idea was to start at the neighborhood the furthest away and work your way back home, so you didn't have a commute at the end of the long day. The first neighborhood was a success. I even made quite a good haul on tips. It was one of the more upscale areas we covered. I was flagged down by a group of moms who appeared to be waiting for their kids to get off the school bus. "I'll take an ice cream sandwich, a Twix, and a strawberry shortcake bar, please," the first mom said. "Sure, just one moment." I stopped mid-sentence because the freezer door would not open, no matter how hard I tried. "I apologize, I've never had this happen. The freezer door is stuck shut," I said. Starting to feel awkward because the mom was giving me a stare down as her kids were getting off the bus by this point, I tried for the 6th time, and it suddenly flew open, making me scrape my knuckle on something. "You're bleeding. That's disgusting," the woman said. "Never mind, kids. We'll grab ice cream on the way to gymnastics." Embarrassed and a little angry, I took a few deep breaths, cleaned my hand and the counter up, and got through the line of customers that had formed during the whole ordeal. "I'm sorry about that lady ahead of me. She's always like that," a friendly woman about my age said, approaching. "No biggie. It's part of the job. What can I get you?" I replied, my faith in humanity restoring a little. The line was finally gone. Everyone got their favorites without incident. I was closing up the window and getting ready to take off to the next neighborhood when I heard humming coming from somewhere in the back. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up. The doors were usually locked, but I wonder if somehow in the chaos I left them unlocked and someone got in. I whipped around, not quite sure what I'd be met with, but no one was there. "I'm not even half done with the first day, and I have 3 weeks of this," I said out loud. The rest of the first day went as well as it could. I pulled into the driveway to clean up the truck and restock for the next day. My aunt had a giant deep freezer in her garage that she had always kept full to restock from. As I headed back to the truck with my arms full of ice cream boxes, I saw someone dart out of the back, running. I dropped literally everything that was in my arms and took off after him. "Hey, you can't be in there. What did you take? Get back here," I said. But I almost passed out when I saw the person turn around, wink at me, and then proceed to walk straight through my aunt's truck and disappear. By this point, my cousin had come out of the house to see what the commotion was. "Jim? Jim? Are you okay? You're as white as a ghost." My cousin was shaking my shoulder, but I couldn't even respond. I had no words. It took me probably 10 minutes to formulate sentences, and by then my cousin had the driveway cleaned up, the truck restocked and locked up, and had me in the house with a glass of water. I had no choice but to finish the 3 weeks. It was my aunt's main income source, and during that time, there were a lot more spiritual activities. My aunt and I compared stories, and the figure I described to her was the exact one she had seen on numerous occasions. Wow, thank you so much for sharing your story. Side note, I grew up in a small town, so I've never seen an ice cream truck in person, but they always creeped me out on TV or in movies for some reason. I hope your aunt is fully recovered now. I bet you're perfectly content being back at your regular job after that. If you have a paranormal story to share for an upcoming video, email it to the address in the description below. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't. We're still so close to 100 subscribers. See you tomorrow, friends.